if you turn microphones on, they work better. Well, hello there. Let's make sure this is all happy real quick and that things are rolling. 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 Keep rolling, rolling, rolling. All right. That. Okay. So. We got some chores to do. I worked out some stuff. Let's launch this guy. Oops, I clicked the wrong button. Do not, please. You need to be on main. You need to be on that. You need to be that. Okay, perfect. So, right meow. Let's fix this first bug here. Where saving actually malforms our JSON. That's going to be in our model. Controller, edit panel, object controller base. Model. I'm thinking of some other things I want to do too, but for now, let's just fix this. From JSON. Comes out as bool. When we write it, though, we don't need to two-string these. I don't remember what I did that for. Let's make sure... That's not the right... This. Make sure we didn't break any tests with that. We did. Not an instance of string, right. Because I think maybe that's why we did that actually. I was like, oh yeah, we need to string them. We don't. We don't need to string them. And this is in 263. That's also that. That should fix that one. We'll have to do the others still. But yeah. Okay, let's do these guys right quick. Like so. And we'll make sure that we didn't break anything in the model tests either, which we might have, but I don't think so. That's that. That's here. Like so. That should fix this. All green. Let's close those, and we'll do controller test just to be sure. No. Same deal here. We need to take out both of them in our check. Spooky stream, is it? Is it spooky? I don't see no spoops. How's things? Okay. That should be good. And now, when we come in here, if I was to say, change the capitalization here, then it doesn't screw up my bools. Okay, perfect. That didn't work correctly, though. We need to go check that out. We're going to fix that. Okay. When we do our update in here, on save, set state, we update you and we save you. In our edit panel, though, apply. We run our on save. It's because we don't reload our effect or our. So I switched over the weekend, my weekend. I switched around the way we do things in here. Previously, we did we were modifying the the state of, or the data in the class directly, and we had a rollback. Obviously, that is fraught with peril in that you can forget to restore things, or like if we clicked off of a thing, it would just write the changes to the stuff in memory. So I flipped that around to where we work on a copy now, and then in the on save, we actually give it the editable copy here. What we need to do is after we call the on save here, and this might need to be in a set state. I'm almost certain it does need to be. Editable effect copy is equal to dot effect, but we need to do a clone here. Like so. Meow, if I was to do that and capitalize bleeding. Ooh, we still don't do it. Why don't we do it? We set state here, which actually should rebuild us because we changed the data underneath. Oh, you know why? Because these are all our text controllers, and because it doesn't really bind stuff. We have to manually fiddle with them, which I hate, but you know, it is what it is. Does that need to be in set state? Yes. And I think we need to reset the fields after we do it. Then, if I come in here and I swap that back. No? Really? Changes that right away. Oh, we don't, oh, I put you outside of set state. No, I didn't. I just moved my clone. I don't need to do that because we already do that in reset fields. We call the on save. We say you're not modified. We reset the fields. We update the effect. We save the effect. Do I need to perhaps... Let's take this out really quick. Do we need to do that and reselect you? Maybe. Yes. Good. We have to reselect you because otherwise... I think it's holding on to the old version. But that means we can take this out of here, which is kind of nice. Exit index. Yeah, that's gotta be it. Because I bet you if we were to come into here and say, so we update the effect. We'll do a print. Why aren't you? Oh, you're not underscored. We need to fix that. That's a minor little deal. Selected effect, and then let's just do the help text. We'll mess around with that as our test deal. After we do the, and you can't be nil. Oh, yeah, you can't be nil either. After we do the update, we print it again. And then after we reselect, we'll print one more time. We could debug this, but this is easier. Okay, so, and then I do here, I say test, and I hit apply. Oh, this isn't set to... I don't have the output. It's fine. We'll restart you. There we go. Oh, I have a parsing error. I also added this. Status effect file type. Null is not a subtype of int in typecast. This has got to be damage. Okay, let's go fix that too while we're here. It'll be from Jason. Modifier as int. So it's not damage, it's the modifier. That's okay. So if you contain that, then we do that, else null. And then I can retry. Uh-oh. It might be because I changed things underneath it. That was working. We can test that again, though. Okay. There we go. Okay, perfect. And is that true? It is true. There's no modifier on bleeding. Okay. Now let's try this again. Apply a bandage test, apply a bandage test. So, here and after the update, the selected effect didn't change. So we are correct in our assumption there. Is there a tidier way to do that at all? On press set state equals status. If I was to, just for funds, say that, and then not redo this. I guess I could put my tracing back in. It's fine. If I do that, yeah, it still doesn't work. Okay. Take test back out of there. Put you back. Since you didn't change anything behavior-wise here, we'll roll that back. And I think we all good then. We're just gonna let that ride. Okay. That's done. That fixes that prob. I'll leave myself a note. Or rather, reset the selected effect. Pick up the changes. Okay. That's done. Think we're good. We'll do a commit here. Good enough for now. And then we'll fix the other things. I need to All right, let's do new here. What is the engine? It's a mud game engine. Right meow, we're kind of working on the editor. We're gonna add just why did you? Oh, because I messed up. That's why. We're gonna go ahead and commit this, and we're gonna say fix boolean being written to file as string. Ensure we reload with the edit window with the, I don't know why you retracted that message, but okay. Edit window with the updated status effect on save. And then in our data file here, we updated the casing and the duration to the new format. And we removed the 0 damage per tick. We're just going to say update effects file with status effects file with new casing for name, new format for duration, and remove empty modifier. That's what we'll say. Just as a note for ourselves about where things changed. Okay. Next, let's get this center row. There we go. Okay. We add, okay, so I also made the add new effect button work, but this doesn't actually get written to the file when we create it. That leaves us with a problem where if we boop bounce off of here, it's technically still in here, but it's not written to the file. So if we were to leave the screen or something, it would go away, which isn't great because there's nothing in here that says, hey, you haven't saved me. So we're going to do, in the name of better UX, that's actually going to be down here. Down here. What's going on here? Why am I... Oh, because I put my error list up there, and then this is all in a row. I see. That's fine. It's just gonna be a little messy looking. Okay, so on save, on delete. Where's my my add news up here? Add new. We create you. We update the effect, and then in here, am I in the wrong place? No. It's widget, right? No. Why aren't you... auto-completing? Good morning from Bangladesh. Cool. Good morning to you as well. What is your... what did I call you? Save effects. Why isn't my... oh. Because I'm still inside of the... wait, I already did save you. What's going on? No, I'm losing my mind. That's what's happening. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Okay. If I delete that, we make sure nothing is untoward in here. Now, if I add new, boom, there it is. It's new. Perfect. When I delete, it goes away. Perfect. Love it. One more thing down. We also need to add confirmation dialog to delete effect. Just a little last thing to take care of there eventually. But let me do a quick commit for this since we did that. Save effect changes immediately on creating new effect. Alright, now in my controller, that's my tests. Here's my controller. Updating an effect that doesn't exist will add it. But we also want to say that if you already have that name and you try to add a duplicate, we want to just append the counter, the traditional incrementer, right? So what we're going to do is we have to do this a little bit differently. We used to return as soon as we updated it. I want to be a backend web developer. I learn HTML, CSS, JS basic. Okay, cool. You should probably learn some backend languages then. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I would have to go through the whole list. I could track if we've updated. And then here. I could do that. Also, hang on, before I forget. That. I do need to come back to that. So now which language would be better, Python or JavaScript? Whatever your job market dictates, really, is the answer. Okay, so then we can say that, and then here. We do that only if we didn't update. We can also do let's see, this would only apply. That's not true. Because if I was to update the name Like, let's say I added a new one and I called it something else, new effect or whatever. But then I changed the name to cold. We only use the UUID to update, so we'd still be in the clear there. But we still want to make this say it, change it to cold 1, right? So what we really want to do is not this, I think. I think we have to go through it twice if we want to do this. Because we don't know for sure when we get to this point if the name that I'm trying to, like, okay, let's say I made another one and I named it Foo, and I tried to change this name to Foo, we would get to here just by happenstance first, by UUID, and because it's first in the list. And then we would rename it without knowing that there's another Foo. So I just think we have to go through the list twice. Just asking, what is your typing speed? I don't know. Never tested it. Don't care about it. Not something I work on in the sense of like practicing typing or anything. Yeah, I think we just gotta go. Okay, so we have an int and we call it name instances, let's just say. And then I just do this, and I say if, and do I want to do I want to be case sensitive? Yes, I do. I think. So if this is true, then we increment name instances, right? Okay, piece of cake. Then we say, if this is greater than 0, then the name here we're going to change to, and we can just do this like so. Am I a full stack developer? Not really. I'm really more of a back end guy. I'm full stack in that there's just nobody else to do the front end. Nobody else to do the UI. So it's me. We do this like so. So we say your name is your name. Stop it. And then this, and then it is this because this needs to be greater than 1. And then this is just name instances, because if there is 2 of them, the first one is just that, and then the second one is 1. And then if there's 3 of them, the first one is the name, and then 1, and then 2. Like so. Now, if I was to do that, oh, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? Let's delete those really quick. Keep our work tidy here. My add new. It's great. Please give me a short idea about backend development career. What do you mean? New status effect. It is using update effect. Can I not? This needs to be. Hang on. This is not quite correct because there's two different cases here. The first one, if we're adding, if it's greater than or equal to 1, then we need to update. Roadmap or something. Gotcha. This, and I'll drop you a link in both chats, has all kinds of good stuff for you. It is, in fact, a roadmap. So if we look on back end here, flashbang. Are you slow or is my internet slow today? What's going on here? Maybe a little bit of both. I think I broke it. There we go. All right, so this gives you a ton of different things. So front end stuff, right? Here's your pick a backend language. If you click on one of these, they have resources here. There's free. There's AI crap, whatever. But there should also be. Some of these have premium resources that you got to pay for, right? But there's a bunch of free stuff here too. But more than that, it just gives you an idea of what should I start searching for, right? So like if you're in here, you're like, oh, okay, I want to learn about MariaDB. Then you can go in here and get some ideas. Here's a premium example. And you can start doing your research, right? Okay, anyway, what was I doing? Okay, so on the case of an update, we need to do this in two different places. In here, if it's greater than 1, then we need to change this. And then here, absolutely. We need to do the similar thing, but greater than or equal to. I think. We think here. So here we have 1, let's just say, and then we rename it. Then it's greater than 1. I think that's correct. Unless I'm overlooking something else. Add a new. Add a new. Okay, that works. This should be... Oop, nope, that's not... Let's see here. So in this case, we came through. We saw that there were no instances of it. We added it. We didn't find a same UUID, so we added it. We came back through. We saw that there was 1 of them, so we appended that. We came back through again. We should have seen 2. Why didn't we see 2? We might need to debug this. Let's delete. Let's delete. Let's delete. What do you think that if I start now, how much time it would take to take a back-end development remote job? Depends on your job market where you live. I don't know anything about the job market in Bangladesh. Right now, the job market here in the US, very bad. Okay. So we want to do... We want to be down here. Yeah. So that we're going to add new. And it's going to come in here. And we're going to say... New status effect, right? Name instances is 0. All of that is correct. So we hop over that. We just add you. Perfect. Boom. We're going to add a new. Name instances is 1. So we should come in here. And we're going to change your name right here to the 1. Perfect. That's what we want to see. Then we add you. Now we add 1 more. We come in here. Name instances is still just 1. Effects. Oh, ooh, duh. Because we changed the name, I'm dumb. That's why. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. We need to probably do a regex here. Am I making a softer? What do you mean? Stop that. Run you in normal mode here. Okay. We probably want to do... match count. Can I do that? Let's look at ducks. Okay, yes, match is first match. Has match. All matches. returns an interval. Okay, so we can link that, I bet. So what we need to do here is, instead of this silly naive one, we need to do oops. So we have foo1, etc. What we need to match on is we need to build the regex to be foo. This, we need to escape you. And then one or more of them. So that would also cover cases of, like, if you got really dumb with it. That's what our regex looks like. Can I build a regex with a variable? So can I say up here, can I build you with that? I need to do that one or more of them, something like that. Wait a minute, what am I doing wrong here, my regex? Looks like you're making a Wi-Fi server based No, this is okay, so this is the editor for status effects for a game. And I'm just declaring a I see. That's what I need to do. Oops, deleted one too many of them. There we go. Okay, and now are you going to be unnecessary escape? Okay. Oh, you know what? I bet you it's mad. I did that wrong. That's what I did wrong. Okay. So it's saying these are unnecessary. I'm sus. Very sus. But we'll try. And then here, we still do that. We don't need to do that. We do need to do that. We can't do matches because we need to go through the list to look at each object's name. But that's fine. We can say instead, we can do has match vec.name, and that just replaces this. So now, bop, 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 nope. Missing something. And I really, really suspect that it's this. It's not, though. Okay. I'm doing something wrong in my regex. And it's that. Ooh, but I can't do that then. Am I doing company work? No. This is for my own project. Can't use string interpolation with raw strings. Ah, I can do concatenation. Okay, that's fine. I do this. I do this. I do this. I do that. Not sure if I need that. Let's give it a shot. Where are you? There you are. No, still not working. Okay. Dart, why your regex so weird? Let me go back. That's why I'm live? What do you mean? Okay, I don't need to use a raw string here. That's good news. But because company work has to be hidden, you can't show. Oh, yeah. This guy is showing using... Oh, I've got one too many of those. That's also a problem. So this should theoretically work according to this guy. It doesn't, but it should. Double backslashes to define regec. Oh, okay. That could be a problem. Still not. To debug land with me. Guess we'll go here. Okay, add new. That should not match anything. So we come down here, we do that. We add it. Perfect. Now we come in here. And effect is cold, so it shouldn't match. And effect is bleeding, so it shouldn't match. Oh, you know why? Because I'm dumb again. That's why. because this whole thing needs to be optional. And because we need to match this guy as well, right? So this needs to be 0 or more of, which is not that. Question mark. There we go. I'm going between VS Code and JetBrains tools. I want to completely commit to one. I see you're using JetBrains. Could you give your opinion? Yeah, it's personal preference. I like JetBrains tools a lot more. Lots of people can get lots and lots of good mileage out of VS Code. I just like the out-of-the-box experience better of using the JetBrains stuff, even though I'm not a huge fan of their subscription model. That's the downside to JetBrains products, is that if you're using them for commercial purposes, you have to pay the subscription. Okay, there. Let's try that again. I'll leave this over here. So how many times to learn backend dev? What do you mean times? Like how long? This should be cold, so no match. This should be bleeding, so no match. This should be the match here. But we didn't find it. Because name instances is 0. Ah, that's true, right. Duh. Because it is 0. And this time it should have a match. So this should be cold. It is. Bleeding. New status effect. And it does. Okay, perfect. So it gets its little 1. And now we should have a little 2. And we do. Perfect. Okay. Let's clean these guys back up real quick. We're going to stop that and run you normal mode. Yeah, long. My English is also in basic level. It depends on your foundations, what you already know, and like how easily it comes to you. 2, 3, perfect. Okay. And now if I was to... Okay, so here's a fun question. Let's say I rename you. Let's just call you Foo. We apply. Oh. Perfect. And then I take this one and I try to call you Foo. When we apply, you don't. Why don't you? You weren't found here. No, you were. Okay, that's why. This needs to be greater than or equal to as well. What am I forgetting? Might not be forgetting anything. This might just need to live up here. if you... No. This is a different case. Because we need to know if this is the one we're updating or not. So it's this, but also... This one we can just rewrite as greater than 0, I'm pretty sure. What is Mongoose engine? It is an engine for a mud game. Bye. It's been a good time sharing with you. Answer all my questions. Didn't expect that. Yeah, no problem. Subscribe to your channel. Hopefully catch you in another live. Gotcha. Yeah. Have a good day. We'll catch you around. Okay, so... This is going to be a little harder. Because we need to know if you're it. Well, no, that's not true. Yes, it's true. We only know the count of this name in here. We don't know if one of those was you. So we could track a list of where we found you. Do we want to do that, though? Does it even matter? If we think about the order of operations here. So we're updating. It hasn't been changed yet. We should know how many matches there were. Yeah, we do need to know. Because theoretically, if I change this and apply it, it's going to append. Yeah, it did. Somehow it skipped 1, but it got to 2. Let's fix that really quick. Yeah, because it's now counting itself. I could do this. And then instances is +1. And I have to track the index here, which is no problem. But then I would have to come down here and I would have to see if this index is one of my found. Does that shoot me in the foot? It does. Because it matches all permutations. So if I'm editing foo2, let's just say, and I come through here, well, no, I guess because it's already one we've accounted for. So we should, in theory, be okay. I put my parens in the wrong spot. If I could do that. So here I would need to also do a for-i, which is fine. And then that add I. So then if I was to come in here and undo that, I should be able to. If I add foo that's gets correctly changed. Here, if I change something, it doesn't change it. But if I come in here, then you get appended on. And if I made you something else, then you get, nope, that ain't right. Because there were two of them. If you're greater than or equal to 1 and not in my found indices, I think it's always +1 here. Am I? Not sure if there's something I'm not considering in here or not. So you go back to being bar. That's all good. There's currently 2 other foos. So this should be 3 if I change it again. Except It should actually be allowed to be foo. But let's delete these really quick. We'll tackle that in a second. We want to make sure status effect 1, status effect 2. Three. Okay. That's all working correctly. If I make you foo, you become F2. Oop, that ain't right. We have stumbled upon. Well, why did you match? You shouldn't have matched. That should have matched. Interesting. What flavor of regex is darts regex? Same syntax and semantics as JavaScript. Okay. So that should be correct. So if this was to... Oh, it would match them. Wow. Can't... This needs to be all of one. Can I do that? No. These actually should be non-capturing groups. But, those are single characters. I need to match exactly this. Is it because actually need to put that in? No. Did I close my... Oh, no, you're over here. Duh. These guys are saying to... No, that's not what I want. I guess we could try... Okay, we could try what they're doing here. In here we say... start of string... and then end of string, but I don't think that's going to work. We would have to put you here, but that might work. Okay. We don't need this group. Do we need this group at all either? Come to think of it? Oh yeah, we do, because that's our, yeah. That's our 0 or 1 or more. So we would need to do this and then that. Oops. That. And then theoretically, if I was to come in here and name you F, then I'd be allowed to. Okay, perfect. Good old regex. Okay, so now we need to also... So if I come in here and I name you Foo, you're going to be Foo 2. Actually, let me put you back to F. If I name you Foo, then you become Foo 2. If I name you Foo, you become also Foo 2. That's broken. Why did that break? Did I... That's odd. Sure, I've made a silly mistake somewhere. The 0, 1. Obviously, we found one of you. Let's clean this up really quick and see if this reproduces here as well. It does. Uh-oh. It's no longer matching. Oh, you know what I was going to do? That too while I was here. That shouldn't fix or change anything though, but I mean, just to be sure we could test. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, that's barked. Greater than 0. Name instances. So that was 1. Adding it became 1. Next should be... Alright, we need to debug again. To have a look-see at what's going on. Okay. We can cut down to here for a start. Okay. We're adding a new. It should be 0, and it is. Boop. Perfect. We're adding a new. It should be 1, and it is. Perfect. Boop. Adding another. It should be 2, and it's not. Okay. Did I... Oh. Took that out, and I shouldn't have. It does need to be in there. Because it is /D. It just looks funny because it's escaped. Once again, I'm the victim of my own stupidity. Boop, if we go forwards, you're 3 now. Okay, yeah, there we go. Perfect. Crises avoided. Let's delete that. Delete all those. Okay, now. Relaunch you in normal mode. So I don't gotta worry about breakpoints. Okay. Perfect. So, if I name you Foo, like so, and then I come back up here, and I'm like, hey, this is Foo. You're Foo too. Perfect. If I do that, guess what? There's another Foo. You're Foo 3. Now, if I name you F, boop, and then I'm like, oh no, you should be Foo. This is going to become Foo 3. Which would be correct, except there's already a Foo 3. Because at the time I changed this, 1, 2, So this should be 3. But that's not correct because it should have actually been 2. Conversely, if I make you F and I name you Foo, or I guess I should say additionally, then you're not correct too. So we need to also track which indice is available. And for that, actually, we might need to make you a capturing group again. Because that, we can say I guess that would be index as a singular, huh? Oh. Okay, so now we say if you have a match, I need to refer back to my docs. Instead of doing that, we can do, oops, this, and we say, we'll call you matches, that's fine. This becomes nameregex dot all matches to effects index I name. Oops. This oh, I guess we can do that. This is effects. There we go. We do that. This is a regex match. I think index 1 is the group. And we should say can I leave you null for a second? And I can say name instances, found instances, that's fine. And we say if you're null or can I do this? Oh, actually, I need to go. I need to go through there first and foremost. And then I can say, do some stuff here. Groups. I think you're 1. I'm wrong. Reg XP match. check this up really quick here. Is Dart just a C fork? No, it's its own thing. It came from Google. They made it mostly for Flutter. Where's my match? I could do named group. That would be nicer to work with. So here I would do, oops. Count, I guess. And then I can say match named group count. And if I'm gonna do that, let's also do one place for it, like so. Oh, I didn't embrace this right because it's just the one. And then you can just be that. Okay. This should be that. Except for your that. But you can't be. If there's a match, you could be null. So we have to check you. And these things are true. Can't be null. I guess we could do that. So your biggest number you could possibly be is the whole length of the list, if they were all named the same thing. And then we could say how do I do this? So as we're coming through here, if this is less and we need to hear parse, except you're not gonna parse, are you? We would need to replace, we need to pull the strings out. Or if you're not a capture group, I mean, I don't know if this is valid regex or not. If you're not a capture group, but This is. That is valid. Okay. So you're not a capture group. This is that. Then it'll parse. So if we parse you out and you are less than the available index. We should probably do this one time. Well, we can just do it in here. Oh, I did that in the wrong. Well, we don't get anything that way. It just becomes a mess to read. That. Is that correct, or did I do that backwards? I've done that wrong. Because we don't know for sure. This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So how do I want to do this? We can't do this. This isn't correct. We're not guaranteed to be in any order. We're not going to sort this array, this list, because that's not. We don't want to do that. That doesn't. We don't want to change the ordering. We need to determine what the first available index is, the number. So we can't count up. That ain't gonna work. We would have to like build another list. Order that. Could do that. Does that make sense? Is the question. Could do that. There should only be one match in here. But we probably should loop just to be sure. We can still have a match incrementer. But we say if you're null, that means it was just like foo or whatever, right? Which is fine. We need to add 0 to that. Otherwise, we need to say add parse match incrementer. That gives us our list. And then if we do, we're going to want to do this twice at least. Let's do you take that I guess you could let's do that. Not really increment. It is an incrementer, I think. I think that makes sense to my brain. What if I said that? So in here, I'd be able to say do I want to do that, or do I want to do a different kind of loop? Do I want to do an I loop? Just a regular old for I? we do less than length minus 1, we avoid trouble. And what we can do is say if used incrementers at I plus 1 minus used incrementers at I is greater than 1, at I plus 1. And at the end of this, if we get there the whole way, then we return used incrementers at the last index plus 1. Is there a convenience for that? Last, there is. So if we find a gap, then bam, we're done. Otherwise, it's just the last. I'm not sure that's correct. We're going to go with it. This becomes that. And I called you counters up there. I'll change that. That's fine. And this, I think... Oh, I put you inside of this function. Whoops. Where is your... Oh, you must have gone missing somewhere. There we go. We do the same thing here. And that's called you guys that. We're not using that anymore. Did I totally screw up? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So if you were to be foo, perfect. And then you up here were to be foo, perfect. We change you to F, let's say. And then, actually, you need to be foo first. And then we make you foo as well. No, that did not work. Why didn't that work? 1 should have been used. 0 should have been used. Because I didn't sort you here, I think. Is it just a default sort? Do I need to give it a function? Default, yes. Okay, use comparable that compare, so that should be fine. Let's give that a shot really quick. Okay, so manually change you. Boop. Okay, now though, wait. Something's still messed up. You, okay. You should be foo too. You're not. So in this case, oh, it's because 1 minus 0 is 1. Well, that should be true. We require more debug. Nice thing about this being in a file is that I can just load this with the data still in there. Because I'm overlooking something stupid at some point. Okay, so foo, great. Boop. We ever used incrementers? Why didn't you sort? Oh, because we haven't sorted yet. Okay, perfect. 0 and 1. So 1 minus 0 is 1. So this should return 2. Oh wait, it does. Why wasn't it doing that before? Am I losing my mind again? This is possible. You. BF. Okay. Change you to foo. If I change you to foo, you should be 3. Right. That is important. And you are. Okay. Am I losing my mind? Hang on. Get some new guys in here. Okay. If I name you foo, and then I name you foo, you're 1. Perfect. If I name you back to F, name you foo, you should be 1. Foo, you should be 2. Okay, you are. If I apply you, nothing happens. Perfect. That's all very correct and good. What was the other use case then? If I made you foo 3, let's say, then I should be able to rename you foo. And I can't. Okay. I must be losing my mind. I swear that was not working, and now it is. I wonder if if it was a hot reload didn't happen or something. So I might not be losing my mind. Still possible. Might not be. Okay. What else do I need in here? Creating you gets you. That gets filled in correctly. I can mix and match and they get the correct appendation. Sure, that's a word. It is now. Think that's okay. If we find anything else, we'll fix it as we go along. I'm reasonably surprised at how much more difficult that was than I thought it was going to be. Okay. Let's commit that. Wait, status effects has been changed. Oh wait, that's controller and the status effects. Right, yes. Okay. I am losing my mind that time. I will say prevent duplicate names by appending a number to the end. Okay. You need to be underscored for sure. You need to be underscored for sure. You could be final. Can I underscore you even though I hand you off? You could be final. Let's make you final. All of y'all can be final and private to this. There's nothing that should be reaching in here. You should be handing it out to your oh, except for then I can't. No, I can. Yeah, we're good there. Add you. Sure the data goes into the file. It does. Perfect. Delete you. Data comes out of the file. Love it. Very good. Let's do a commit for that really quick. Make variables that should be private. I was going to test. Okay, so status effect controller, when we load effects, throw that to rebuild. Okay. And then if I remove that again immediately, why don't you then? You do after that. Okay, so it's an order of operations thing. It's actually going to be in the reset logic, I think, in here. Retry. Load data in the set state. We need to await that. I think we can't unless that is async, which we can do. Pretty sure. So let's try that again really quick here. It's not the model, it's the controller. We throw our test exception, relaunch it so it shows up here. Got it. Perfect. Get rid of that. Oop, that didn't work. Callback argument returned to failure. Instead of performing asynchronous work inside the call to set state, first execute the work without... Okay, gotcha. So we need to do that. And then do that. But we can't... We need to do that. I don't need to be in the model. I just need to be in the controller. Put you back in. Get you to throw the test exception again. Perfect. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Hopefully that fixes that bug. Whoop. Fix data not loading fast enough for the UI to display the effects on the retry button. Okay. Perfect. What else is on our to-do list here? We did that. That's fine. We need to do a confirmation dialogue. And that may be a good task for tomorrow. I'm getting a little sleepy. Which makes sense because we're just over 2 hours. Getting late. So yeah, I think I'm going to do... We'll do the confirmation dialogue tomorrow. I don't think there's anything else we actually need to do after that, though, for this widget, this screen. So we'll do that. We'll button that up. We might... Let's make sure this all passes still. Okay, it does. We should add testing for our new update behavior. So we'll do that too. We'll add a configuration, add testing for the new status effects controller update behavior. And then we'll add our confirmation dialogue, and that'll wrap things up tomorrow. We'll start working on another screen. We've got... Oh, you know what else I want to do? We can do that after. Implement the... I should say, extend the object controller base class to include behavior methods in status effect controller to do make status effect controller implement object controller, because it's already going to be there. It's going to be very close. And as we move into these next screens for things like the skills and the attributes, we're going to need a lot of these same behaviors. So it just makes sense. And then maybe we can also pull out... No, I don't think we can pull anything else out. But it makes sense that we just use the same interface for all of them. And then this should actually be the other way around, I think. It'll make more sense. Extend skill and attribute controllers to implement rest of the methods. And in all of doing this, as part of doing all of these, make the methods less, or rather more generic, i.e. load effects becomes load items. And we won't really need to use the interface itself in the code. In a lot of places, I don't think. But it just makes sense that they should all be a little bit more uniform. It'll make them easier to work with, because then you don't got to go, okay, did I say load effects or load status effects or load something, load items, right? It'll be easier to work with. All right. But that is what we'll do. We'll start tackling that, little tidy ups, and then we'll start doing another screen. Probably attributes first, and then skills. It'll just be easier to do, I think, that order. So I guess I could leave myself. Nah, I don't want to put it in this file. It's fine. I do. To do implement, or yeah, status effects screen, or not set. Jeez, my brain attributes, and then that. I'll just leave that for myself since we're going to be looking at this file. All right, so that's the game plan. We'll chug through as much of that as we can tomorrow. But if you like this kind of thing, show up again tomorrow. Thanks for everybody who did swing by. We had some great chats today. And thanks for hanging out and working along with me. Those of you who did that. I do this thing 4 days a week, starting on tonight, Friday night, ending on Monday night. And I start at 8 p.m. Central Time. Twitch, you have a schedule over there. YouTube, you'll have to do math because they make it hard for me to have repeat schedules. But yeah, I should be here barring anything weird. There's a Discord. I'm on all the socials, most of them anyway. Info should be in my channel information. Follow me there. Anyway, thanks again, everybody. Love to see you again. And if not, you guys have a great weekend anyway. We'll